Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Eric Hunting from Parts Unknown. We are getting ready to sit down and do a review of our latest Pioneer Valley Professional Wrestling show. It was PvP Valley Vice 80's night. Myself, Eric Hunting, my sweetheart, Anissa.
Hello.
And this happened Saturday night, August 20th, 2022, at the Zombie Hideout. Let's just get that out of the way first. What a unique setting. Right in the middle of a comic book collectibles store. They cleared out all the shelving and displays, pushed them to the side, and put a ring in the middle of the store.
And seating.
And standing room. There was not an open seat to be had. It was a packed house, a lot of energy.
Live crowd, yeah.
Everybody was on for the most part. I think there was a couple of quiet moments, but I think we needed them just to get over what we saw in the previous moments.
But I also think it was really warm.
It got a little warm in there, but I think that was just body heat because there was air in there. It just, look, it was the first time in there. Got to work the kinks out. I think we'll be back there again at some point.
I hope so.
I think from what I've seen on social media already, in less than 12 hours, they've had some good reviews from Zombie Hideout. And so, if you're ever in the Springfield area, try to check them out. They're really good people over there, and it was really cool to watch a wrestling event in that location. And I'm looking forward to another stop there.
Yeah, and even without the wrestling, it's a cool spot.
Yeah. No, Bill does a good job in that store. He's a really good guy. He's a big wrestling fan, and he's really good with the PvP guys.
He's got a lot of comic books.
Yeah,
a ton of pops.
You want a pop figure? Go down to Zombie Hideout. He's gonna have what you're looking for, and he's got good prices, and he's got a lot of hard to find stuff.
Very unique things.
Yeah,
yes.
It's a little bit of everything. A little bit of everything in that store. It was really...
You could go a few times and still not see everything.
It's true. It's true. This night, man, it was off to the races right from the start. Let's get the extras out of the way. We had, for the referees, we had Vinny from days past of PvP finally making his... I think he's been back before.
Yeah, he was
one of
at
the
the
last
last
events.
ones.
But
yeah.
It was good to see Vinny again. We even got a "Do Your Job, Vinny" out of the Woo crew. Thank you, Kulik. We needed that chant out of him. It was good to hear that again. It feels right.
Do your job, Vinny.
Do your job, Vinny. I am. And we had one of our favorites, one of our boys, and that's Miggy Stripes. We've mentioned it before. We remember Miggy being a fan in the front row to now he's on the other as a ref, and he does an amazing job. He has a personality. He's got a good reffing technique. He's made it his own, and he's really good. He's
and a
really,
smile
really
that
good.
lights up the room.
He does it. We're going to get to a couple of other people that do too.
Yes.
And then we had young Mr. Tunis, who's coming into his own as a referee.
Jason, correct?
Jason, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Jason. And he's a good kid. He even, took it upon himself to fix the ring when the board popped up or whatever, and with a carpenter's hammer. And he said, "Hey!" And he said, "I'm the hammer now." And
it's kind of popped for that.
Yeah, we all did, because that was in reference to his big brother, Hammer Tunis. So that was fun. That was fun. We had our ring announcer extraordinaire, and that's Cameron Coe.
Mm-hmm.
Young kid. He drives an hour and a half to come to these shows to do this, according to him. And
What a good job he does, too.
He does a really good job. He gets all the sponsors in there, and it's not just like he's reading it off the paper. Puts personality behind it. And he does a really, really good job.
He's really come into his own. Every event, he shines more and more.
I think so, too.
He did find his calling with this.
And he's got some people that he can learn from, too. And we had a guest ring announcer for one of the matches, and we're going to get into that. I was surprised to see this guy. If you know anything about the New England independent wrestling scene, Rich Palladino is up here on another level. He does, Beyond and Wrestling Open. He does some big stuff, but for this one match that he did the ring announcing for, he used to ring announce for this other promotion, apparently back in the day, and I was really excited to get to see him because he's a big guy, big name guy, and it was cool to see him. And so Rich Palladino doing the guest spot, that was really cool, and I was excited to see him.
Yeah, me too.
It was cool to see him. We started the night off with
a banger.
We started the night off with a salute to our fallen brothers.
Yes.
We over the past few months we've lost a couple of fans, a few wrestlers, so. I know I'd like to take a moment to, just shout out to Sean Cutler, the Beard. We lost him, and we lost our brother Larry. And it just didn't seem right not seeing those two guys there, but, we're carrying them on in memory. We miss Larry and we miss Sean a lot. And there were moments that we really did miss those guys, because when a certain wrestler came out, man, would he have been booing like crazy, because when he booed this guy a lot, and
we'll get into that.
And we'll get into that, but we did a 10 bell salute for all the fallen lost brothers that we got, and it was a nice moment to have. Then Alex Cipher, otherwise known as the Putz.
That's a title he will never forget,
whether he wants to or not.
It's gonna follow him.
He came out as the president of PvP. He came out and his main objective was to introduce the brand new Pioneer Valley Professional Wrestling title, which
what a sharp looking
title, definitely head and shoulders above the old title. Great design. It's really cool. There'll be a picture up here of that. What a great title. And in introducing that title, then they had to introduce the person who holds that title. And so Hammer Tunis and Big Bacon, collectively known as the Closers, Boom. They came out. Somebody wasn't happy with that, but
I was the only person there that was booing.
It was the first time in a long time that the Closers were back together, and I don't know. I don't want to speak for anybody else, but whether you like them or not, it was good to see them back together. See the band back together. They make a great tag team, and being what they were last night, they were the bad guys, and they definitely were the bad guys. They turned on that crowd.
I feel vindicated. I was the only one booing. Everybody was cheering. Oh, the Closers, hooray, hooray. And I was booing. I called it. I knew, because I know.
You heard it here, folks.
Boo.
You heard it here first. So they were running their mouths about, how great are we? And then they got to talking about the tag team titles that have kind of been in limbo for over 2 years. And because I pay attention, I kind of was aware as to who might be coming out. Well, they were running their mouths and, what have you, and the
closers were.
The closers were. And the the present tag team champions.
Spoilers.
The Perfect Gamble came out.
Oh my goodness, so exciting.
Dexter Lou came out with his beautiful daughter Scarlett.
Oh my God,
and
what a cutie.
She talk about lighting up a room with a smile. That little one, less than 6 months old, holding her. They came out, with his beautiful girl with him, and they make a beautiful family. They really do.
Gorgeous family.
And
nice people.
And they came out and they got to talking, and a challenge was laid out. But Matthew James came out.
He's always a character.
And, because he's the head of WMW, and we mentioned in our previous video, they've somewhat merged. It's
but there's still a lot of animosity
there.
It's
a tumultuous marriage. It really is.
Yeah.
So,
that's to say the least.
it has yet to be cleared up. And we'll get to that.
I feel like we're saying that a lot.
Well, we're trying to go along in steps, but you need to get over one thing to another. And so the challenge was laid out that if we're going to put the tag team titles up against the closers versus Perfect Gamble.
Right.
Dexter Lou and American Sumo Mike Gamble. There was a pop beyond pops when this man's music started. He came out, and he may or may not have said that somebody called it before the weekend ever happened. I just paid attention to what was going on around me on social media.
I mean, we weren't 100%.
Wasn't 100%, but
we were definitely
about as close as you
hoping.
can get without being 100% that at least American Sumo was going to be there. And it was, I love seeing Mike Gamble.
What a good guy. Huh?
And he's put in the work to make himself a better Mike Gamble. Let's put it that way. And he's really done a hell of a job. I love that guy. I can't give him enough love. I really can't.
That fella can move.
Yeah.
My favorite thing in that match was when he chopped Bacon and
on the outside.
And Bacon said, "Oh my God, I forgot how hard he can hit." Because you could feel that through the entire venue. Just that one chop. It was immense.
I wish I could have gotten the shot, but I had a camera guy in front of me, so I couldn't do it. But, man, you could hear it. You could feel it. And Bacon could feel it, too.
Loved it.
You could feel the sizzle. Let's put it that way. So, once all the talking was done, we got Mr. Cameron Cole back in, and he laid out the first match for us. Which, man, did we start off with a banger.
Yes,
RJ Rude, which this kid is, he's excitement. He spends more time in the air than he does on the ground.
But he can still go on the mat.
Yeah, but he's known to be a high flyer. But his opponent, not so much. Wildman Congo.
He's solid.
We have a bit of a history with Congo with some of our family members. And I got to tell him about it too. Big, scary dude. And
He doesn't
rough
take
and tumble.
bullshit from anybody.
No, and they went toe to toe, and R.J. Rude took a beating and a beating and a beating and a beating until somehow he snuck out the W on this one. But what a match! It was exciting. It was the right match to start the show off with. It really was. It
got the crowd really fired up.
It's like, all right, we're here for wrestling. You know, it got everybody going, especially with all the talking that had just gone on for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. It seemed like that anyways.
I think it was a bit longer, but regardless.
it was the right match to get everybody up. And boy, were they. We're probably going to mention Jim Kulik a few times. Because he gets some comments out there sometimes.
He gets some zingers, and it makes the show more fun sometimes.
It really does. And I'm not gonna lie to anybody. We made notes. I say we. Anissa made notes. That we something would happen and we'd be like, hey, we need to make sure we mention this because it was great. And he had a couple just for this match, and there was a couple. What was it? Chops that happened.
Oh yeah.
And RJ caught Congo with a chop or something else, and it was. He says the rhythm's gonna get you, Congo. Died. I died laughing. I couldn't stop laughing. That was a great one.
Yes.
And Jim Kulik's good for a good one-liner, zingers. Yeah. Kulik's my buddy. He's my brother. I love Kulik. Yeah, but fun. Again, RJ Rude, he snuck out the win on that one.
A former tag team.
Yeah.
In a tag team. Yep. He's really becoming pretty good at singles.
Yes.
It's a surprise because you see a lot of guys that try and transition, and it doesn't always work.
Yeah.
And I'm beginning to watch him and forgetting that he used to be in a tag team because he's really come so far as that goes.
And
he's fun to watch.
He's exciting, and he definitely he's learned how to do the singles run now and make it his own. He's not insanely Rude anymore. It's RJ Rude. That's right. It. And if anybody was paying attention to social media, the promo that these two guys cut on each other days before, and they were both ready for this match.
Yeah, they were.
RJ had a little bit of redemption to get from the last one because he came away from the Bacon match with busted open nose and he come out of this one and he looked like he went through a war. Well, he did because he was against Congo, and that guy's, like I said, he's a beast.
He's a tank with feet.
Yeah. And this is a guy, Congo is a guy that he's been around a while in the local area, I believe New York area, and this guy, he's no joke. I guess I have a saying now. You're going to face this guy, pack a lunch, because it's going to be a tough day at the office with this guy.
Right.
Congo's a bad one. But, again, RJ came out of that one with the win, and I was like, what?
But that could have gone either way.
I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
I really thought Congo was going to take that one, because, he's the bad guy. I thought if he wasn't going to win it clean, he was going to win it with, some kind of, our word, shenanigans.
Right. That bruise, man,
there's something on the side of it, that's going to hurt for the next few. Match 2 was our salute to EWA, which is the kind of a predecessor to PVP. It was a local promotion that really, I guess, from what I understand, from what Rich Palladino said to us, started up in Maine and then took over the Northeast for 25 years, from what they were saying. Before my time in the indie scene. They had a fallen brother who I'm not really aware of, and they wanted to salute him.
I think that I wrote his name on the back.
Oh, excuse me while I look for this. Kid Crazy. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry I had to look at the notes. There was a lot to take in last night.
There was.
Kid Crazy, I guess, was a big star in their promotion. He had recently passed. So they brought in these guys to kind of salute him and salute the history of EWA, which some of our fans, like Jim Kulik, Fogman, our brother Larry, were all big fans of EWA.
Right.
A couple of our favorite wrestlers wrestled for EWA. Johnny Idol, Marshall McNeil, Doc Harrisy, Aaron Morrison,
right.
Hammer, Bacon, Perry Von Vicious. A lot of them done work for EWA. So it was good to see them do this salute. And they had a 6-man tag match, which, for what it was fun. It was a fun match. It was, there was a lot of ha-ha. There was a lot of shtick going on, but it was a great match. It was good to see the guys that were in there.
Everywhere you looked, there was something going on.
Because it was a 6-man match, there was action here, everywhere. Out of the ring, yeah. There was, on one team, you had Doc Harrisy, who is, I think, one of the more tenured guys in that ring, and he's the one still going all the time.
Right.
Then you had Marshall McNeil, who's
going
manager.
To feel it today.
Yeah, he was feeling it last night, so he's really feeling it today. And then there was Scott Ashworth on that team. On the opposing team was supposed to be Aaron Morrison. Get well soon, my brother. And then we also had Zachary Pierre Bellew, one of my buddies, sort of. And
he's a good fella.
Adam Booker and Aaron
Saco.
From out of Saco, Maine, which
near and dear to my heart.
Near and dear to your heart. And Aaron Morrison was replaced with Alex Worthington III. And man, it was just a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. There was,
a lot of purple nurples.
There was a moment where 2 or 3 guys got purple nurples. I also want to give a shout out that was somebody that was sitting behind us, and that was Sonny Goodspeed, who is also an EWA original. So it was good to see him. He's buddies with Johnny Idol. We had a moment over that, and it was good to see Sonny. Sonny's a good guy. He's doing, I believe, some training over in some promotions. So the history is getting put out, to good use. So the good guys, if you will, took that one. Doc Harrisy, Marshall McNeil, and Scott Ashworth took the W on that one. Yeah, and then we moved on to another legend, if you will, in the area, Tom Santel. The Ovaltine Dream, he come out against Brett Ryan Gosling. I don't know what it is about this kid, but we seem to have some kind of attraction to each other that is getting a little close to physical. I have to say,
no.
No. At least the man has good breath. I don't really know what I said, but it didn't sit well with him. Well. No. And we had a face-to-face. I did nothing. He did nothing. I put it out there. I did nothing.
So please let us continue to go to matches.
But Thomas Santel, he took care of the moment.
Oh,
and
bless.
He took him by the ears and brought him back to the ring. There was also a moment where Thomas Santel did his best George McFly impersonation, if you will, and
with the camera
BRG took the camera lady and put her in front of him, And he gave him the, "Hey, you, get your damn hands off her." He sounded just like George McFly from Back to the Future. It was perfect. It was great. And, it was another fun match, but
it was.
As much business as I give to BRG, the kid can go. He's definitely got being a bad guy down. That's for sure.
Oh, man, did he get heat?
He got that crowd fired up at every moment. And it was something else. And he's the victorious one, according to him. And he proved it last night. He got the win over Thomas Santel, and I guess it was deserved. Whatever.
Meh.
He's not one of my favorite guys.
I don't think you're one of his.
I don't think I'm one of his favorite people. So
it works out.
Yeah, we have common ground. We don't like each other. So match number 4. This was my match. I was kind of torn. This was kind of a both these guys. This was Logan Black versus Slick Wagner Brown. And this was a banger of a match.
Well, we knew it was going to be.
You knew it was going to be. And it really was.
Lots of chance of both these guys.
Yeah. It took a while for the match to get started because the crowd just was praising both the performers.
Well deserved.
I mean, everybody knows how I feel about Logan Black. And it's not a secret. He's top 2 in my list. So it was good to see because I haven't seen a lot of Slick Wagner Brown wrestling, but what I have seen has usually been tag team or a 6-man tag or something like that. It was nice to see him go singles. And this is a guy that it was said at the end of the match, Logan Black had paid his money to watch him wrestle. So getting to see this match was really great. There was a moment where I was at the beginning of the match taken for a little ride, which was fun. It just proved that Logan Black's not just a hardcore wrestler. He's not just a anything goes match wrestler. He can just go. And it was good to. It was a really great match. It was one of my top matches of the night. I think it was a lot of fun.
Yes.
And
I mean, when you see Slick Wagner Brown, he comes out with his sunglasses, and he comes out and he looks terrifying.
Until he smiles.
And then he smiles, and everything changes.
And there was a moment where there were chops being laid out. And anybody that watches wrestling knows, you do the woos to the... Well, you got the woo crew who loves his chops. And he's like, hey, let me give him a chop. Let me give him a chop. And Logan Black said, hey, you want to chop Slick Wagner Brown? No. Because he wants to be able to go to the next Test of Strength show.
Right.
So,
right.
But after that...
There was no real heel in...
No, this was just... Well, Slick Wagner Brown was a replacement for Sammy Diaz, who's still... He's on recovery. He's getting cleared for a dislocated elbow. Ow.
Right.
And that's legit. That's he's on the mend on that. And
which we're glad about.
Yeah, thank goodness. And so Slick stepped in. And when that match got announced, I knew there were going to be a few people excited. And the one person was Foggy, and I was right.
Yes.
That music hit. That music hit, and we heard "Gangsta," and he just lost his ever-loving mind. Foggy loves SWB, and I can't blame him.
He's a good guy.
He's a good dude.
I mean, this was a hard match to root because they're just such really good guys.
And good wrestlers.
Yes, there were so many chants of both these guys.
Yeah.
Both these guys.
I think they would have been mad if we said, fight forever, because I think they both wanted to get done, but it was a great match. I didn't want to see it end.
I mean, it was a hard-hitting match.
Yep. Oh yeah, they didn't hold anything back.
No
pulled punches on this one.
There was a lot of respect on both sides.
And
you love to see that.
Yep. So after Logan, we had, I believe that was intermission, right? After that one?
I believe so.
Because then that's when, yes, we had intermission, made our rounds and all that stuff. And after that, then we had Legit Perfect Perkins. This was a rematch from the previous PvP show.
From Resurrection, right?
Yeah. No. There was the one where Sexy Jesus won the title at the
Right.
and so Legit Perfect Perkins had faced Chris Benet at the previous PvP show. There's a lot of P's. And there was some shenanigans, a run-in from a family member, and so the powers that be set up a rematch. Well, then, after that setup of a rematch, Chris Benet took it upon himself to bring more family members in.
Well, he said he got
a promotion. He got a promotion, and in the family, he's collector of money. Well, he had his first was cousin Dominic. He made it that if you want to face Chris Benet, you got to run the gauntlet of the family, and cousin Dominic was first.
Oh, bless.
And he got knocked out of his Crocs. I'll just leave it at that. Sorry, you're wearing Crocs in the ring. You deserve to be knocked out of them. Then he had to face cousin Antonio. According to Kulik, that was Biff from Back to the Future.
Yeah, I think he's a match
short. Again, it's Kulik. We love you, Kulik. We really do. And Perfect Perkins took him over. So now he had to face the big man, the godfather of the choke slam, the tracksuit brute, Chris Benet.
Right.
And then the shenanigans started.
Really began.
And there was a weapon that was handed off, whether anybody chooses to believe it or not. I saw it. Didn't get photographic evidence, but it did happen.
There were legs helped onto ropes.
Yeah, we had the old, his legs are on the rope. Every trick in the book was put out there, but it didn't work. It didn't help. And Legit Perfect Perkins took that win. Didn't he? No.
I have.
No, he didn't. He didn't. I'm sorry. I'm misspeaking here.
I mean, this was a hard match for me.
Chris took that one. I'm sorry. I stumbled over everything. There was a lot going on.
Yes. It's easy to get confused about that one. But because he won with shenanigans.
Yeah. Did he win? Yeah, but should he have won? No. But he did. But I think Legit's going to want to... He's going to want a little payback on that one. Without anybody coming in, I would think.
Well, yeah, understandable. I mean, Legit Perfect Perkins is incredible.
Yeah.
He's a great wrestler. He's a really nice guy.
Great physique. He looks the part. He wrestles the part. This kid is... He's not going to be on the indie scene for too long, I don't think.
Right.
He's made for the big time.
But Chris Benet...
That's our guy. He really is.
It was hard for me because this match for me was definitely both these guys.
Yeah.
I know the rest of the crowd did not agree with me.
Right.
But for myself personally...
But if you're following the story that's being told, you want to side with Perkins. But when you have personal feelings, it's hard to separate that sometimes. And it's like, okay, just do what you got to do, I guess. So, with shenanigans involved, Chris took that win. I'm sorry I misspoke on that, but again, there was a lot going on. So after that one, we were supposed to have Scotty Wilde versus Nico Silva. And this was supposed to be Nico Silva's return after being suspended before the pandemic. He was suspended and it was supposed to be the return. Alex Cypher set this match up. And he says, let them both kill each other. I don't care. And unfortunately, due to travel issues,
circumstances beyond his control.
Yeah. Nico Silva was not able to make the event. So, my buddy, my friend, Brett Ryan Gosselin took it upon himself to replace Nico Silva. And this kid, I'm telling you,
certainly couldn't fill his shoes.
No, he is definitely no Nico Silva. That's for damn sure. It was a heck of a match. It really was. I mean, again, the kid can wrestle.
Yeah, you've got to give him that. I mean, we may not like the guy, but he can go.
Yeah, and he tried to. BRG tried to pull a chair out from underneath the ring. He was going to use it on Scotty Wilde, and Thomas Santel came out and stopped that from happening.
Yes.
Grabbed the chair. He took the chair and he put it back in the audience, even though it started underneath the ring. And he put the chair back in the audience. And it was
but
what a fun little moment. But that chair may or may not come back into play in another match. Is it the next match? No, it happened in that match.
It happened in that match.
Alex Cypher wanted to get a closer look. That's what it was. Alex Cypher wanted to get a closer look. So he picked up said chair and he put it down in the corner.
He wanted to be a pretentious poop.
Yeah, he wanted to be a putz.
True
and
enough.
He put the chair down and he went to sit down and the chair said no. The chair tapped out and it folded on under Alex's weight, and he fell on the floor. So he picked up another chair. He had somebody test the chair for him, and then he sat down and watched the rest of the match. And unfortunately, Ryan Gosling came out victorious again. No.
Scotty Wilde.
Scotty Wilde took that one. Why am I having such a trouble with this one?
Well,
I don't know.
I didn't have the matches weren't in order, so
yeah.
On the program.
Yeah.
So the notes that I took, I think I'm going to go back to just using my phone because then I can make more concise
notes.
So
Scotty Wilde took the win to put himself in a top contendership for the PvP title.
But man, he took some bumps. I mean, on the floor, outside the ring.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no matting. It was straight concrete.
He took a suplex on the floor, and the sound of his body hitting that floor, just ugh.
The whole crowd just paused.
That was like ugh.
Yeah.
Yuck. It was a yucky sound. I did not like it.
I'm sure Scotty Wilde.
And Scotty Wilde didn't like
it.
He looked like he was hurting afterwards.
But he was mad. He was fired up. It didn't stop him.
No, it didn't. And to the point where Scotty Wilde took the W on that one, which we were happy for.
Yes.
And I guess I'm supposed to be learning this, but I can't. You're not supposed to ask the wrestlers what happened when they lose. They don't like that. Yet I still do it. Anyway, so
sometimes you're a poop.
Hey, I got a role to fill and to be a poop.
Or as Johnny calls, Bessie so
I'm a shithead.
Yes.
I'm a shithead. I'll take that. I'll wear that like a badge of honor. So that brought us up to our main event. And that was the Closers versus the Perfect Gamble.
Yay.
For the PvP Tag Team Championships.
The crowd, everything was electric.
This match was on fire. It really was. It was nonstop. There was something going on the whole time. And, again, American Sumo come out. I got another. I think I hugged American Sumo more last night than I have since we started watching him.
Right.
He was just so happy to see us. It was great,
and
we were happy to see him. And because he's living down in Florida now with his family, and so he came back for a visit, and what a visit it was.
Right.
Dexter Lou, who's been out for a while, and starting a family, and what a way to kind of put a bow on everything for the Perfect Gamble. And we hope to see either or of them come back soon. I'm down to watching them wrestle again.
Everything is pretty much up in the air. I know that there were a lot of shenanigans in this match.
Oh my lord. Well, you knew that Alex Cypher was going to get involved. You knew Matthew James was going to get involved.
Well, where one is, the other is.
And towards the end of that match, our referee, young Tunis, did his best to eliminate these two guys from the ring area by wrestling them out of the ring. It was awesome. This kid lost his shit. Yep. He lost his shit against these two guys and got them out, at least out of the ring. How that didn't constitute a disqualification is beyond me. But PvP is a little wishy-washy with rules sometimes. So
a little?
What? The rules are just a guideline, and we kind of go.
Especially where the Closers are involved.
Yeah.
It's always questionable. There's no.
But it was a damn good match.
I wasn't.
I guess until you get to the end, depending on who you. Listen, I've already said it a million times. I was all in with Perfect Gamble. Even though I was wearing the Closers colors, it was their first time back together.
You're lucky I came to the event with you.
Oh, okay. But then, with everything that had happened, even though they won, a voice came from behind the sound system. And it was one John Roy, who spoke up saying that he was the appointed one to mediate between Alex Cypher and Matthew James for WMW and PvP, and he is laying down the law. And I popped big time for this because I love me some John Roy. I know John Roy because of outside of wrestling, and he's a good guy. He's a hardworking guy, and apparently he's found his way to let's run this show right. And we're finally going to get a culmination of what we were supposed to have just before the pandemic, and that's the cage match.
But after we go through Cypher having full control,
right. Yeah.
And then Matthew James having full control. Those are going to be two very different shows.
They've set up the next 3 shows of this storyline where, like Anissa just said, Alex Cypher will have full control at the next show. Then Matthew James will have full control of that next show. And then we're going to have
November
19th, I think he said.
Steel cage match.
Where we're going to have a steel cage match, which we were supposed to have at that point, going to be like 2.5 years later. We were supposed to have that match.
Yes,
then.
Exactly.
And
but,
that was,
pandemic
right.
and injuries.
Yep.
And
it
was a lot.
Everybody's back, and I'm in. I'm in.
You'd be in anyways.
True. But what a great event. It was a lot of fun, and
a little warm, but
But
can you expect?
Great venue, great crowd. The crowd was on fire.
Yes.
The matches were on fire. They told a lot of great stories. And that's one thing about PvP, and this isn't a slight on any other promotion. This is just on them. The one thing about PvP is they tell a story with their matches.
Yes.
From one event to the next to the next. They continue their stories, and that's one thing I really like about them is their storytelling. They're consistent with their storytelling as best they can be. You put a pandemic in the middle of it, and they're doing their best to rewrite things to get you back into the story,
right.
to where we're gonna get what we promised. To a point, and I'm loving what I'm seeing right now. That all being said, it was a great 7 matches. Technically 7 matches. Do you have your match of the evening?
Match of the evening. Unfortunately, because of the storyline, I'm going to have to go with the main event. Just because of how it moves the story along. And not to put a slight on any other match, because all the matches were really, really good.
It's true.
Very close to, RJ, Rude, and Congo, calling it for them, because it set the tone for the whole night. And like you said, it was fire.
Yeah.
So, but I'm unfortunately going to have to go with the main event. I don't want to give it to the closers, so I will say it's the main event because of the perfect gamble.
I mean, you can't go. That's a great choice. My choice for match of the night, it's kind of just out of fandom alone. I'm gonna say Logan Black versus Slick Wagner Brown. That I was 100% invested in. I was ready for Logan Black versus Sammy Diaz. That match was gonna be a banger.
Uh-huh.
What happened with Sammy. They bring in SWB, and as soon as I saw that graphic, I was in. I was like, let's go. This is going to be a match that I want to see. And they did not let me down. Two hard-hitting guys, legends in the area. I mean, they people know who they are, and you knew what you were going to get, and we got it. I loved everything about that match. It was a great match. I wasn't crazy about the win because Slick Wagner Brown won over my guy, but I mean, either guy could have taken it. But
you can respect it because
my heart wanted Logan Black to win it because he needs to redeem himself over these losses that he's had. He's said it in a promo, and I back that.
I think these losses are only going to add fuel to the fire, and he's going to come out swinging.
Yeah.
He's going to come out more hungry, and let's go, gonna get the match done.
100%. So that's my match of the evening. Performer of the evening.
Well, just because, yes, you knew. Just because you knew. I'm going to go with the perfect gamble. I can't just pick one. I'm going to pick both of them because I was so stinking excited to see them at the beginning. And just to see the two of them smile being back together, It was, for a brief shining moment, all was right in the PvP world for me.
I can't disagree with that. Somewhat. I'm going to hang it on. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Perfect Gamble. I was going to hang it just on American Sumo, but I won't. No, because it was good to see Dexter Lou. Even though we've had our moments in the past, but it was really, really good to see them back together. And
I've been a fan of theirs since the very first
I want to say we were one of the first ones to buy their shirts.
Yep.
I mean, we have there's two Perfect Gamble shirts in this house.
Because I even wanted one myself. And I don't get shirts.
No.
That's not my thing.
No. Well, you do get them. You just don't get them for you.
True enough. True enough.
But it was so... And they brought the energy. It wasn't just, it's nostalgic because they came back. No. They brought the energy. They brought the fight to the closers, to the point where the closers needed to do what they did to win.
Right.
Perfect Gamble could have taken that if it was a straight-up match. It would probably been the Perfect Gamble. It would have retained. But they did what they did. Okay, so they cheated and they won. All right, well, they tried. They had to do what they had to do. Perfect Gamble brought the fight to them, and I was glad to see that. It was an awesome event, and awesome match. Before we close it, we need to give a huge shout out to Nicole, who was working the front table, who does an amazing job.
Even making signs.
Yeah, she's making signs now too.
And she does it all with a smile.
Need to give a shout out to Louis Semity, who's doing an amazing job with his camera work. And I'll give you a fist bump now.
He's such a sweet individual.
He's a good dude. He made up these trading cards for PvP, which I got a pack of. They're pretty cool. He did a great job on them.
Hopefully you can show them.
Yeah, and I'll give a little bit of a show on those. So that was really cool. And another huge shout out to one of our most favorite people in the world, and that's Joanna Robinson.
Yes.
The PvP show does not go off without the hitch that it didn't go off, that it went off without Joanna Robinson. She helps with the setup. She helps with making sure it runs. She does running of the gear and all that.
Whatever was needed, she did. She does.
And she does it with a smile on. And she just makes sure that this runs without a hitch. And she needs her... I'm giving her flowers. She needs her shout-outs.
Yes.
Because
we see you, Joanna. And
she's an amazing person. And... We got nothing but love for Joanna Robinson in this house. She's an amazing person, and we love her. And I just want her to know that. So there's that. So again, this was PvP, Pioneer Vice, 80's night. Other than the music, was it really an 80's night? I guess so.
Well,
but
some of the people were dressed.
It's some of the audience members dressed up, which was good, and
But how can you go and have a show at this venue without having it be centered around? Everybody should have been...
It should have been a comic book night or something.
Yes,
but,
superhero, things like that. Dress as your favorite part.
But
hopefully, maybe in a future event that'll happen. But that's just my bias because I hate everything 80's. It was a hard night.
But Pioneer Valley Pro, Pioneer Vice was a banger of an event. We had so much fun. Got to see some of our favorite people in and out of the ring, from the audience to the ring. Great night. I can't thank, Hammer Tunis enough for the show that he puts on. And a birthday shout out to Hammer Tunis for last night. That was his way of celebrating his birthday was doing what he did, I guess.
Yeah,
but
happy birthday.
it was a great night, and we're looking forward to the next one. And that being said, I'm going to be heading out today to Shut Up and Wrestle 24 in Holyoke, Mass. If you want to support indie wrestling, get yourself out to a show. You know, you won't be disappointed. You never know who's going to land in your lap. You never know who you might go face to face with. You never know what's going to happen at an indie show. You really don't.
No.
And it's always fun. It really is. It's always fun. And so
support your local wrestlers.
Support local independent wrestling and the wrestlers themselves. Buy the merch. I say as I didn't buy any merch.
Well, it's because you bought all the merch.
There wasn't a whole lot for me to get because I have most, but I did because I bought some of the trading cards, and so I did support, and you got to, because this is how these guys make it worth it for themselves. So do what you can, build them up, don't tear them down, and as always, like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell so you get notified when I finally drop some new content. I'm trying to get better at this. Thank you for traveling along with us. And we hope to see you at the matches. Anissa, thank you for joining me with this. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We'll talk to you all. We'll see you at the matches.